Dear Venerable Sister and Brothers, Dhamma friends, today also we are going to start the talk today. May everyone settle down for the talk and give the consent with 3 times sadhu, sadhu, sadhu chanting. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Namo tasse bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhasse. Katame auso tayo dhamma bahukara sappurisa santivo saddhamma savanang dhammanu dhamma patipatti ti. Dear Venerable Sister and Brothers, Dhamma friends, today again I recited the same phrase Venerable Sariputta recited in front of the other fellow meditators, monks, to introduce the most helpful 3 aspects a mendicant or a celibate person must know. These are the most helpful things. The first and foremost is association with the good friend or a true person or a noble person. The second one is listening to the Dhamma or the teaching of the Buddha. The third one is Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti, that behave accordingly or make your livelihood straighten according to the Dhamma. So we are presently dealing the second aspect, the listening to Dhamma. And as I tried to mention yesterday, some consider this as a kind of a contemplation of the qualities of Dhamma. And this is here just mentioned the listening to Dhamma. And when you are listening, just you can listen the words and wait, or you can understand the word meaning, and third you can understand the how do one can relate it to one's own life. So there are 3 aspects: the theoretical understanding, contemplative one, and the third one is practicing. So we are going into all the 3 stages, not only just listening and waiting. We try to understand the word meaning and remembering. And the third aspect of living up to that also, accordingly we have gone up to the Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehi Passiko Opanayiko Pacchatang Vejitabbo. We reach the Ehi Passika, that is to say come and see, or invitation for someone to come and see, or one can challenge someone. It's worthy to come and see, come and inspect. So that is the kind of pragmatic part. It is not Buddha, it is Dhamma is challenging you. So therefore there is no personification. The way you must understand Dhamma, first you experience it under the nose, under your very nose. And when and where it is happening, it is not happening overnight. It's happening little by little. You learn the ways and means. You learn the art. More and more you become diligent, immediate, face to face. And when it is happening, you feel the special viewpoint, special vantage point, special outlook. When and where you see in that way, it's a completely different thing. So then you feel like asking your dear and near ones, please come to this place and see, and it is different. It is like something when you are observing a magic, and usually you sit in front of the magician, and suppose that you can go behind the magician and see, there's nothing magic, he is just cheating. In Sinhala we call asbandu. So we have paid for that cheating, and we are entertaining that as far as you have the same viewpoint. If you can behind and see, there's nothing called magic. It is just cheating. And when and where you go there, you feel dumbbound because all the others are appreciating as if he is a creator. He is creating all the kind of thing, but when you see, you feel disgustful. This whole world is just the spectators or audience in the magic show. The magician knows each and everyone is an idiot. So much so, he performs. But if you happen to see the real viewpoint, then you don't feel like explaining the world, because these people, those who are entertaining, thrilling, get kind of a thrill, get kind of a happiness, but completely depend on falsified way. So likewise, when and where you see, sometimes you get stuck. Am I to explain this to the world? Because whole world will never happy to say that you are a fool. You are an idiot. That's how you can entertain the magic. And just see what is happening. So likewise, the Buddha himself at the beginning had the same doubt. But when and where he see, some people occasionally come up with the same vantage point, same view, and they can see exactly like the Buddha. That's the beauty of Dhamma. There is nothing called right reserved. In Dhamma, there is no right reserved. Everything, every other naughty things, every other inferior things, they are right reserved. They have registered the patent. No one can copy. Because there is no value. In the Dhamma, right, not reserved, the Buddha says, yeah, please come and see from this vantage point, from this angle, outlook, then you see difference. So likewise, when and where you become akalika, you learn the art, how to observe the phenomena, how to observe the primary object immediately, just like looking at the line of ants very closely. You will never get camouflaged to say it is a serpent. You will never get misled to say it's a root or it's a rope. It's an ant after the ant. So if someone is looking from a distance and say, don't go there because a very poisonous serpent, you will say, no, nothing to worry. It is not a serpent, it is just ant after ant. Likewise, when and where you see, in a way that thin slicing of time and very immediate observation, it is, you can't develop overnight. At the beginning, you have to develop the viewpoint at a distance. And slowly, tightening the nuts and bolts, and ultimately it comes very immediate. And when it is happening, the distance look and this immediate look, completely different. That these two, when it happens, you feel like asking others, okay, you have seen it enough at the superficial level. You have seen it enough from this slack way. Why don't you come in a diligent way, vigilant way, immediate way, face-to-face way, and then you can see. And when that happens, that kind of quality in Dhamma indicates it is pragmatic. It is no magic. It is no mystics over there. But when you look at from the different viewpoint, you will really entertain doubts. Why can't I see it? The example given in the traditional way is when the people are traveling in the forest, when 2 people or 3 people going together, they need water. But close by there is no water. So one person thought of climbing a tree or top of the mountain and see far away. Then he can see in that particular direction there is a water hole or a lake, or then he will suggest to the other people, hey, I can see the water, but you are in the wrong direction, we have to go this way. The other people would say, no, we don't believe you because we don't see water. He says, if you wish to see, please come. If you come to the top of the mountain, or if you can climb the tree, you can see. But others can argue, really, I am not follow you. We can't see water. If the water is available, why can't we see? But they don't know. They don't get the angle, that outlook. That is what you call Sammaditthi. If you have the Sammaditthi, for a distance you can see water is available, but we, without knowing, we are going the opposite direction or wrong direction. So, go to the direction. Before walking, you must understand, have a kind of a radar system, where the truth is, where the water is, where the real angle is. So it is very important. That is why in the Noble Eightfold Path, first and foremost is Sammaditthi. Without adjusting it, without aligning it, whatever the effort you are doing, you may be pushing over aside, away from the truth. You may be quite faithful, you may be quite energetic, you may be quite with concentration, you must be quite with other wisdom, but direction is wrong. So that is why one has to understand Dhamma has its own verifiable methods. Even before going to the Nibbana, that is why it becomes pragmatic, that's why it is relative. So one example, Venerable Katukurunde Jnanananda Bhikkhu is showing, whenever you get a prism, and if you put in a correct angle, the color separation is there. But whenever the angle is changed by one point, you can't see the color separation. It is only in one angle. He says when the early morning, when the sun is rising, two people sitting and meditating in different places, and one person can see a dewdrop, and through that he can see the color separation, and then appear like a rainbow. Then he will see the other person, hey, can you see the rainbow? The other person say, where? I can't see. Then he can say that, look through that dewdrop. No, I can see the dewdrop, but no rainbow. Then he has to say, please come and sit in my seat, and then you can see. So unless you sit there, you will never believe there is a color separation. The dewdrop is in the correct angle, and then you can see. Likewise, till you come up to that kind of alignment, till you endowed with all the qualities, and the alignment in all the qualities completely different thing, unaligned qualities. So therefore, qualities one thing, or raw material one thing, but they must come in the correct alignment. Then, whenever the alignment happens, power transmission takes place. If the alignments are there, they are hitting each other, friction, wear and tear can happen. So, as far as your Sammaditthi is straightened, all the qualities are in conflicting each other. That is called the split mind. Split mind is tormenting, torturing, burning. Whenever they come aligned, it's a power transmission happen. So that alignment making such a big difference, you may think the alignment brought the raw material into the picture. No, you are already with the raw material. You have all the other necessary things, but the alignment. So at the beginning, you can assimilate the alignment, you may assimilate part and partial. Each time these links or limbs get aligned, you feel something. And ultimately when everything happens, you may underestimate the link. Anyone can hear and see the alignments, and whenever the alignment is there, you are enlightened like. But it is not the case. The other people also has to do their trial and error. They have to invest their basic mistakes, and upon that mistakes, slowly, you come up to the point when and where you immediate with your object. When and where you appamada, you feel you are nearing the field. You feel the magnetizing slowly. But when magnetizing happens, our common sense, our worldly knowledge get frightened and it is something dangerous, don't go there. Please come back, because known devil is better than unknown. Something is better than nothing. So you are towards the nothing, so don't go there. So next day, again you have to discuss it and be prepared, be immunized, be galvanized, and go little further and come back again. And slowly, when you go there, the day you gain the confidence and the day you foresee, this is everyone's way. No one directly dash through. It is done by trial and error. So this time, when you do this trial and error, for my personal experience, that's a beautiful time of your life. After enlightenment, it's nothing. It's like after the marriage. It's just like eating in the morning and the lunch and the dinner. But before, when you are reaching, you feel the Buddha, you feel Dhamma, you feel your inputs, you feel the alignment. It's such a coincidence, and ultimately you feel so aesthetic. Even you mistake, day by day, you are adjusting, you are refining, fine-tuning, and you understand no one can help me. I am the only person that do trial and error and do this fine-tuning. Each time you do, then and there, akalika, without time gap, for the each and every correct adjustment, you feel the straightening, you feel the alignment, and you find that the intrinsic nature, that electric nature, that spontaneous nature never get old, never get rotten. It is there. It is not Buddha, it is Dhamma. Dhamma is such. So, this trial and error, we do use this common language in the English, but the Buddha call is noble quest, Arya Pariyesana. You do again and again, again and again. For that, to this Arya Pariyesana, still you have yet to get the result, that is called faith. And you do at your cost of your life and the body. And you have the energy, incessant kind of energy, repetitive application. Just like a person training how to play a musical instrument, learn a violin, like a person learning a piano. Daily you have to play. And the refinement is so slow. But you can't buy it. There is no other way. So that energy and the mindfulness over there is a kind of a forerunner of, you can foresee the way you are trying now, the way you put forth energy, you have never done. Each and everything you have done earlier, there was an agenda. There was an economic gain. There was a political gain. There's a social, but here, nothing. No economic, no social, no political. So that itself makes so spiritual, so intrinsic, so spontaneous. And you see, this equally I have just like the Buddha. The Buddha to be had the same inquiring mind. Keep on trying. With what formula? We don't know. With what theory? We don't know. We keep on trying, and that is what we feel when and where you see the true Dhamma. We understand Buddha to be without any teacher, without any meditation centers, without any basic requisites. Keep on trying. And that trying is the endowment of human life. That is what you call dullabho manusatta patilabho. The human mind can evolve and not limited by your instinct. Your brain is not a hardwired thing, but keep on doing. Unfortunately, you can't see then and there development. Something happening, but you can't gauge. So when you are doing again and again, there is a refinement taking place. The Buddha mentioned, when you are using a knife, for example, repetitive use, you have to sharpen it against the whetstone. Every time you sharpen, the edge of the knife becoming brighter, that means kind of a wear and tear. But each time you rub against the whetstone, you don't know how much it is wear and tear happens. You only appreciate the sharpening nature. So use it. And once it becomes dumb, again you sharpen. Each time you sharpen, you don't know how much the wear and tear of the metal. And meanwhile, your handle become polished. Each time you use the instrument, ultimately you can see it is a well-used equipment, but you don't know how the polishing took place by each and every striking. So don't worry. It is happening. And then the Buddha asks, once that you use the knife to the last drop, and the handle also worn out, at that time the Buddha is asking, do you have foreign expert to say to throw away that? No, it is now throw away, because it is used. So exactly the way, when we are using the same time variable, you are using the same primary object, when you are using the same mindfulness, you feel bored, you feel monotonous, you feel very lethargic, you feel sleepy. That indicates something happening. Because opposite of that is the desire, enthusiasm, desire, craving, and that is the root cause for the samsaric suffering. And the opposite is boredom, monotony, lethargic. But if you can understand this, boredom is due to my meditation, this monotony is due to my meditation, this lethargic nature, the lack of taste is due to my meditation, then you understand that is what forerunner, that's the indicator that you are progressing. Instead, if you give up and go on telling that it's boring, it is full of doubts and uncertainties and fearful, so much so you lose the track, lose the momentum, lose the lead. So, understand the raga, viraga. Raga is the motivation. If you get motivated to something, it is utterly with raga. Whatever the motivation you do is fertilized by raga. But if you do for the sake of doing, out of faith, even if it is boredom, you do it. Even if it is monotonous, you do. There you can't attribute your action to kind of a motivation, filling your egotistic idea, filling your conceit, or filling your pet ideas. That indicates spiritual. And that you never feel at the beginning of the retreat. When you go 2 days, 3 days, 4 days only, you understand, why should I maintain the same timetable? Why should I maintain the same subject or object of meditation? Why should I continue only with mindfulness? At the beginning you can't justify. So this eipasika gunaya or eipasika quality comes when you come up to a fairly high experience of the meditation. Therefore, sometimes it appears like very capitalistic system. Only the people born with that much of merits, they can understand, others cannot. That means it is not gradual. It is kind of a spontaneity. No, there is a gradual process also. The gradual process is very digestible, palatable to the beginners. And for the advanced yogis also, sometimes it is important to understand what a great task I have completed. So therefore, they also get kind of an encouragement by understanding this quality of eipasika. You can tell someone it is worthy of investigation, and it's worthy of inviting someone to investigate, so much so you have the first-hand experience. So I thought of quoting when the Mahalunkyaputta Sutta, hoping it will breach the gap so that you can gradually understand with the present amount of experience, present knowledge you have, and it will be a kind of a way explaining to the advanced yogis. The Venerable Malunke Buddha one day approached the Buddha and told, Bhante, I would like to be solitude, go to the forest, live by myself. So therefore I have no chance to come and again and again have an interview with you. Would you mind to give me a basic instruction or gist of your teaching? Then at the beginning the Buddha says, whatever the way I am going to teach you, you want to have personal interviews, personal the object of meditation. So if you all people is going to ask like, what about the young people? They will be a endless request, like Buddha negate at the beginning and then give a kind of a hint. The hint the Buddha given is the Chakku viññaya rūpa dittang aditya bubbha na passati na passayanti attite pemangva rūpangva chandangva. He asked Malunke Buddha, imagine a visual object you have never seen, and now also not you are seeing, you are not looking, and in future also you are not going to look. Under such circumstances, can there be any desire for that kind of visual object? Then he immediately says, no, there won't be any desire, because our desire is arising only with the related object. If it is not related to the past and not going to relate in the future, there is no. And then he go for the Buddha is asking regarding the sounds and smell, taste, touch and pet ideas. So ultimately, you will see your utter suffering is whatever you contacted. Whatever you have not contacted, it is not the subject of meditation. It is not related to your Nibbana. Whatever you gathered, whatever you desire, whatever you claim, that's me, mine, are the only culprit. So Mahasi Sayadaw is reducing it to say, the desire, the volitional activities, your commitment, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. Take care about now, here and now. So if you take here and now, that habit, that way of living, later will give the answer to the past and the future. So maximize the time you live here and now. That's a kind of an interpretation of Mahasi Sayadaw. But Venerable Malunke Buddha, he, after listening, he somehow that he get the gist of it, and he says, Bhante, I hope I got the point. I will reiterate, I will represent it to you. Please let me know whether I have got the proper answer. Then Buddha is carefully listening what the Malunke Buddha is telling, and he says, Rupan disva sati mutta. Whenever you see a visual object without mindfulness, you make story, go on storytelling, fabrication what you have seen. And the object, that visual object become a trigger, but your mental proliferation or your storytelling and your fabrication is the prolific. And moment you start fabrication, you are no more with the object. You are no more touch with the object. So you are with your own fabrication. And sarata citto vedi tanta josa nittitati. You keep on chewing the cud, repetitively observing. Of course you are not observing, you are now working with the memory, and it appears like very immediate, very personal, and saratta citto, your desire arises, and you plunge into that. Say, what a nice thing, I have seen such a vivid thing. So you keep on brooding upon that, and that is what happened. Dasa vaddanti vedana anayika rupa sambadhen. You keep on thinking and entertain it, and desirous feeling happen. So whenever such a thing going to become otherwise, changed, then abhijjahacha vihesacha, you start, my pet idea is not going to work, or it become otherwise, then the desire or hatred can happen. Because you are brooding upon the same thing, the thing gone, but you are storytelling, so therefore it is whether you like it or not, it is undergoing the changes, but due to your special desire, you can't tolerate its changing, you can't tolerate its otherwise situation. So abhijjahacha vihesacha, you start worrying, and you start torturing yourself, and then chittamasupahanyati, you start crying, you tell others, this is the thing happened, this is my lovely thing, and this is my immediate thing, and it is becoming otherwise like. Much you brood upon that, so much so the torturing happens. So that is because when and where you see it, you are not mindful. If it is so, you no more see the object, but you see your own storytelling, your own fabrication. So therefore, you know you can't tolerate its changes, can't tolerate its otherwise situation. That is because you have the permanent notion. That is because you have no mindfulness. Instead, the Venerable Malunkyaputta is telling the other side, you are not unmindful of the object, but instead you see, naso rajyati rupesu rupan disva patisato. Whenever you see the visual object being very attractive, you not going to entertain it. Instead you say, best way is to be mindful that I am seeing. So that is because of your past experience. That is because of your training before. So I often attribute to that, when you do walking meditation or day-to-day activities, we'll say you have selected one thing at a time and that done well kind of a task. You'll see you are washing dishes, or you are brushing your teeth, or you are walking left leg and right leg. When such a thing happens, you know this is your primary object, and visual object happens. Whenever such a visual object happens, if you're going to take delight of the visual object, definitely you see you have to forego your left leg and right leg. You have to forego your washing dish, or you have to forego your brushing teeth. So therefore, instead you say, my refuge, my oasis, my security is in the primary object. Instead, a visual object happen. So therefore, I must be mindful about that. Even if you see visual object, you are not going to entertain it. You are not going to take delight of it. And therefore, you are not going to plunge into that, because you know, whenever possible, best thing is to come back to your primary object. Because this is make you eccentric. Your balance is gone. So therefore, don't look at the details and don't try to see the content of it. Don't try to see the beginning, the middle, end of it. Instead, best thing is to way back home, take the refuge of your left leg and the right leg. Or if you have selected the brushing teeth, come back to brushing teeth. If your object is washing dishes, wash the dish. When it is happening, if you know, my attention is more pulled aside by this visual object, very attractive. But I have already assigned object is there, it is neutral, and it is the security, it is my mindfulness. And when you see both, even the Malunkyaputta is telling, even if you see the object, even if it is attractive, Yatasa pasato rupang, sevato chapi veda. He knows it is a very attractive object. And you know your mind must be with brushing teeth, but now it is in the eye. Now it is in the eye conscious. Everything you know. Because you have done it earlier, and you know mindfulness have such a quality. While securing your primary object, there may be side by side visual object or one after the other visual object that can exist. But you know where your refuge is. You know where your security is. You know where is your homely object. As far as you have that kind of understanding, kiyati no pachiyati evang so charati sato. Then he never brood, he never multiply, he never fabricate, he never storytelling on the object you have seen. No, it is a culprit to make my eccentric. So I try to keep as much as possible with the primary object. That is your mindfulness. That mindfulness is not the momentary mindfulness. It is a kind of a double dose mindfulness. So that double dose mindfulness you can't start with. You must have the momentary mindfulness at the beginning, only with the brushing teeth, only with washing dishes, only with the left and the right. After a while, it is natural someone to get across with the visual objects, sounds. And if you have already developed momentary concentration, now you know that is not enough. Concentration must have backed by your clear comprehension. Now you observe two things and you know this is no danger. It's my security, it's my home. And there is another very attractive, and that is also intruding. But if I go there, I don't know where I am. So therefore, seeing both, of course, when you are mature enough in the meditation, mindfulness, it's a good homework, it's a good challenge, and still securing your mindfulness, securing your primary object, securing your oasis, securing of your known place, is giving you a kind of a protection, and knowing that, taking refuge of it, even if you occasionally look at this attractive thing, Venerable Mahalunkya is telling you are secure. You are not at danger because you know what to do. So whenever such a thing happens, evan apachinato dukkhaṃ santike nibbānaṃ uchati, he knows if you take delight of this visual object, unreasoned defilement can arise. If you come back to the primary object, you know how to stop, how to restrain, not to arouse unreasoned defilement. This is a special craftsmanship. It's a special quality you can develop when there are two things fighting each other. You must have already prepared mind. Whenever such a thing happens, this must be my refuge. This must be my oasis. This must be my the buffer. I have to go there. And that is what you have earned through your early meditation. So whenever you know how to go and take refuge, you will never at danger by this appearing visual object. And there's a quail, small, very weak bird. One day, the bird's mother says, don't go out. You must always live under a lump of clay, roam around there, but don't go out like. But that quail, without listening to the mother, climbed up on the lump of clay, and that eagle came sharp and catch all this quail, the weak bird. And while it is carrying away from the lump, and the small bird used to say, it is my mistake, it is my mistake. If I had listened to my mother, I wouldn't have fallen into that. And then the eagle is asking, this is not crying, it is telling, it is my mistake, it is my mistake. Then the eagle is asking the quail, what do you mean? No, my mother told I have a secure place. And I trespass. That is why in the trouble. If I had been in there, I was not in the... No, eagle says, wherever you may be, I am a powerful. I am giving a chance. I am releasing you. Go and, if there is a security place, demonstrate me. And then the quail left and get the chance. And then again he go back. And now he knows if you go top of the lump, dangerous, and he is easily you can go under the lump. So one day for an experiment, again he climbed onto the lump. And waiting, he see arrow-like eagle coming, immediately go under the lump, and the eagle come and dash upon the lump and die there. Because even the quail living on the dangerous place, it knows where my security is. And immediately it can go back. Under such circumstances, you can little try within the dangerous places also. Even then, if you know quickly, swiftly, go back to your primary object, even the powerful eagle has to hit against the lump and die. So that is what the yogi understand as Eipasika. Even the visual objects are there, very attractive. You can see the visual object, but whenever you are about to tread past, you know where to go. If you know that, it is like a oasis in the desert. When you are in danger, you know where to find it. So that is what we earn in this very life. And if you know it, you may be little bit of arrogant and go on the top of the lump, never mind. But when and where you feel the danger, if you know, immediately go back to the secure place, then you see that is what you call Dhammo Have Rakhati Dhammachari. If you protect the Dhamma of mindfulness, mindfulness in return will protect you. No other skill. You are mindful. And to give a very bright and very special kind of example given by Venerable Rattapala, definitely I think you will misunderstand it. Never mind. And he says, whenever the catcher of the deer or the person who is setting the trap for the deers fix a trap near a very lush full crop. And he knows deers are coming and they are. And he set a trap and fix a very tasty, thing, so that deers will be attracted there. Whenever it is eating this thing, the door will close and the deer will be trapped. So bait is very smelling, very tasty. Then a very wise deer comes and it only carefully eat the bait without getting trapped, without trip off the gate of the trap, and after eating it is going back, and the catcher of the deer waiting, even it goes there and eat the bait, if you know inside there is a hook, inside there is a trap, he can eat the bait, but whenever it is nearing the danger, it can come back. So likewise, Pandita Sayadaw put it in a very, very way, very irony. He says, when the monks are doing something, other people say it is none of monks' business. But he says, if you know sati, you can do any dirty thing without getting trapped into the bait. You can eat the bait without getting trapped. No one believe it. So therefore, Dayaka Sabha people, lay people come and say, Bhante, this is sort of none of your business. So we have to say, we are the son of the Buddha. He is the qualified man. He knows where to touch and where to not to touch. Under such circumstances, he can roam all over the world. Nothing to worry, because he knows the oasis. He knows the security. If you do not know, you have a fear for this bait. But nothing to worry, because bait is something very delicious. You can't earn it unless otherwise this bloody fool deer trap trapper has to come and fix it to you. So you eat it. But you never trip off. Likewise, if you know the margin, that is called transgression or thread passing, if you know it, if you know how to come back, no danger is a danger. So that is the point you can tell younger generation. Only thing is you don't know the margin. You don't know where the thread passing. So therefore the later commentator says, the person who do not know the margin called putujjana. Person who know the margin and go back called arya. So therefore if you are sensitive, if you know the danger area, you can go there if you know how to come back. So that is the security you get from the mindfulness. So not that you are thread-passing, you thread-passing. But whenever the sign happen, if you come back, this is the security that is called Dhamma arasa, or that's a protection from Dhamma. So therefore the person who is skillful never fear, not that he is foolhardy. He knows this much is fearful, no more. But those who are disciplinarian, they will die by heart attack thinking, don't go to that, this is dangerous. But the non-person, he knows this is the thread pass. And beyond that dangerous, even if you go there, if you know how to come back, no problem. So therefore, under such circumstances, you are not worrying about for the unwanted things. You know, this area I do with my confidence, my foresight, nothing happened. But another person, if you are going to do the same, definitely he will get trapped. He will get killed. So that is the area only the Aryans can see, others can't. During the time of the Buddha, there was one person, and ultimately he married to an Aboriginal lady. And when they are living in the married life, they got the children also. And one day, no, I will start this way. There was one Aboriginal lady, the civilized lady married to an Aboriginal person. Maybe due to the love affair or something like that. Ultimately, she got children, 3 children. And still she is taking care of the family, motherly knowledge. And one day, knowing the advantage, the Buddha went into that forest. And on the Buddha is sitting on the tree, under a tree and meditating. The Aboriginal person, the Vedda, passing the Buddha, going in search of the Dadema or prey, and whole day he tried, there's no animals. So he knew, early morning I see the Buddha, it's a bad omen, so best thing is to kill him. So on the way back, he was about to shoot the Buddha. And you, I don't know whether you know it, if you see a monk early morning, it's a bad day. So that's why the Buddha says, don't go early morning, Pindapata, go when the time is 10 o'clock. Because people have seen. And worst thing is, if you see a monk in your dream, definitely a death. Next day, my mother told me. So seeing a monk is a very, very bad sign. You won't get the prey. You won't get your luck that day. So same thing happened. So when the person come back, he sees the Buddha still sitting, he start shooting with the arrow, and Buddha see, he make a determination, he will get stoned, just in the same position. He's about to shoot the Buddha, and with the arrow and bow, he stuck. And then the mother is waiting and says, the elder son, hey, the son, that your father, it is time to come back. Today is late, why don't you go? And then he also goes, and then he see my father is about to shoot the Buddha. He thought, I will shoot the fellow before father. And he also did the same, and then the Buddha came to know, he also got stoned. Now two, father and the elder son. And then the second son, and ultimately third son. Everyone went there, everything happened, so different angles. They are now, you can imagine, about to shoot. Now ultimately in the dusk, the mother goes and she found 4 people about to shoot, and he starts shouting, "Don't disturb my father, my lovely father." And all of them, 4, came into normal senses. And the Aboriginal told, "You bloody lady, you would have mentioned that your father is a monk and he is living there. Now only you are telling, otherwise I would have shooted him." And then now the situation is, everyone is conscious. Buddha asked him to sit and gave a sermon. Do you believe, except that lady, all the other 4 people got enlightened? Except that lady, the father, 3 sons. So next day Buddha go to the congregation and told, yesterday such a thing happened. All the 3 people do not know who am I, and they were about to shoot. I make such a magic. Ultimately the mother came, and except the mother, all the other enlightened. And then one monk is asking, why Bhante, that the mother is the one love you, know you, and she was not enlightened. All the other, then the Buddha told, she was already enlightened. So therefore, nothing to get further. Then she said, the monkey said, how such an enlightened lady be a wife to an aborigine? The aborigine is a normal way, not the normal way of life. No, the livelihood is not appreciable. So if she is enlightened, how can she be the mother to the aborigine? Then the Buddha says, Paninami vanenasa visangna anvagameti. If your hand is not wounded, even if you put into the poison, it will never catch the poison, because your skin is intact. Likewise, my daughter, already enlightened, she never hate animal. She do the duties to the husband, do everything and take care about the children. So therefore, nothing to get enlightened. She became enlightened before. And there the Buddha's example is, if your hand is not wounded, you can put into the poison. Or otherwise, if you can put a rubber glove, then you can put into the poison. So if you are not without the wound, definitely poison is poison. So therefore, when you armed with your mind with full of mindfulness, guard with mindfulness, poison is no more poison. And under such circumstances, you can tell others, please come up to that level and see poison is no more poison. Distraction is no more a distraction. Defilement is no more a defilement. You make volitional activities, I am not. And he may or she may come and say, you are talking nonsense, you are talking something mystic. How can that happen? He says, come up to this particular angle and see there. There you can see the color separation. It is no more white. It's all the vibgure. But if you're looking from the other side, it's a white color. It's the angle. It's a viewpoint. So therefore, ehipassika means the moment, one day, at a glimpse, at a glance, you see Dhamma through this proper perspective, that make you completely different person. Like you see a magic show from the behind. So to that happen, you must be akalika. You must be immediate with the object. You must be vigilant with the object. You must be long, keep the relationship with the object, and one day you can pierce through. Once pierced one object, you understand the whole universe. So therefore, don't try to catch the whole world and try to understand it. Never you can do it in this life. So take whatever may be the object, and it is very boring. Boredom is a very clear sign you are engaged with the object. Monotony is a very clear sign you are with the same object. And see, am I faithful to continue without giving up? Do I have enough energy without getting exhausted to slow releasing till the opportunity happens? Or do I have the mindfulness not to expect results? Just to do for the sake of doing, even if it is boring, even if it is monotonous, and everyone will give up and go. But you keep on fighting. And you may one day understand, even while walking, if you see visual objects may be bad, still you can maintain the concentration. Because you have the faith on the mindfulness. Mindfulness can handle two things sometimes at a time, side by side or one after the other. So still you can say whatever the attractive thing happen, still you can have some kind of a relationship with the primary object, or you may understand that whenever necessary, the way back home to the primary object is never hindered. So under such circumstances, you can have kind of a momentary concentration that never you can think something like the balance in a push bike. When the push bike gains a certain amount of momentum, even it is bent to the one side, naturally it will go to the other side and balancing happen. Till you gain certain amount of momentum and the speed, you will topple down. But once gain the momentum, the cycle has its own balance. Likewise, a kind of radical concentration, momentary concentration is there. At that moment when it is happening, next moment you may not be concentrated, but alignment took place, power line align, power transmission takes place. So all the such a contradictory events, Mahasi Sayadaw collected in the second chapters, and he says the disciplinarians make so much of phobia, make so much of inhibition, telling I am disqualified to do meditation, my concentration is not up to the mark, my mindfulness is not up to the mark, so he always see negative. But when and where you practice, one day you will see, whenever the maturity come up to the level, you see that without results, without expecting results, doing something continuously itself is spiritual. That is what you call religious activity. Do it again and again. It is according to the terminology of the Buddha, anupassana. Anupassana, same thing again and again and again. Just like learning a musical instrument. Just like learning a apprentice, learning a skill. You never expect any results, keep on doing. And then even the nature, even the law of the nature can come under your control. If you are going to take a overnight or accelerated program or shorter time, then you will be utterly get wasted and wear and tear. The repetitive application happen, ultimately it becomes eipasika. You can demonstrate, you can tell others, please come. It's worthy of inviting, please come, look at here and see this angle, and then you can see it. And the beauty of it is, if it is happening by your own initiative, only once it happens, it cannot be, it will never get erased from your memory, erased from your brain. So that very first glimpse, first thing is very electric. It's very spontaneous, you can't predict. So while keep on doing, not necessarily it will happen in your sitting meditation. Not necessarily it is happening in your walking meditation. Not necessarily it is happening in your mindful prime stage. But things can happen. Venerable Sariputta's understanding happened whenever he gave up the meditation. Immediately relaxation happened, enlightenment happened. So therefore, don't make formulas, don't have kind of a hard and fast rules. Each and every formula, each and every hard and fast rule is from Mara. From the evil one, it's a defilement. So therefore, at the beginning, of course, you use it. And ultimately you throw away all the formulas and all the kind of things, just like a pole vault, At the high peak, you have to throw away the pole. Then only you will jump over the bar. Till that you have to hold this in a very good grip. With the jettisoning of the pole, you go to the peak. And then you have to throw it. By throwing, you throw again over the bar. Something like that, your whole theory will go away. Whole your gradual process will be abandoned. And then everything becomes electric. And that is how this revolution takes place. Or this electric takes place, so much so, you are no more. Your conceit no more, no desire. So, but the thing is, once that happens, you are not the same person. And again, you can come back and have a family life, no problem. Don't think that you will be radiant color and 18 feet tall and nonsense that we have mentioned. Nothing happened. Visakha happened in the age 7 and she had 20 children. And all the other family life, they did it. And they were very happily helping the Buddha. And the Buddha has no hesitation to ask their help. And they were real householders, very, very efficient. And not only, they were consultants. They were doing counseling on behalf of Buddha. Because this, don't think meditation or result of meditation going to cripple you, going to paralyze you. It is qualifying you. Just like the grade 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8, each time you get qualified. Like this is called Arahant. Arahant means qualified. So nowadays, today very special, not the special, something laughable happened. One doctor came with his family. And younger daughter was 7 years, so I was making fun out of it, singing, dancing and all the kind of thing. And the elderly brother, maybe 14 years, and after that I told, now I have no time because I have to go to the Dani, and after she is singing, I have to give something. So I gave her a little book on Sati. And while giving the book, the boy has mentioned to the mother, even though Dhammajiva Hamtru is an Arahant, he is a good man. You see the picture of an Arahant? That is the way young children understand the Arahant. And immediately mother told me, you know Bhante, what the son is telling? I told, who conditioned he is to think that I am an Arahant? You bloody fellows, disturbing his mind. And he says, even if he is an Arahant, he is a good fellow. So it's a kind of a revealing thing, how we look at an Arahant, how we look at the Buddha, how we look at the Dhamma. It's utterly frame, we never think out of the box. When it is happening, you see the devil is not so dark as you think. You can deal. So therefore, don't take this as a Dhammanupassana and chanting the qualities and you will go to the next life in the heaven. No. Here understand, Ehipasika is something under your very nose. If you believe it, then Dhamma will help you. Then mindfulness will help you. Otherwise, if you are going to put the mindfulness in the superstitious way, mystical way, mindfulness is like a magic. So one day it will come and, just like a Santa Claus come and put the toys in your stockings, you're going to know miracles. When the mindfulness is coming up to the proper alignment, nothing you can do other than observing the truth as it is. So don't put it to the next life. Don't assign it to the born, it is meant for the born enlightened beings. No, we normal sweating people. We are the people understanding it. That is why Buddha repetitively told, please remember, I am not a god, I am not a Gandharva, I am not a Brahma, I am a human. All the other religious masters told, we are not human, we are superstitious, we are God and we are supreme. The Buddha may be higher than that, but still he claimed, I am human. So therefore, the simple way to break or to make the iron is, everyone is born enlightened. Only thing is, they don't believe. They don't know. Because the Buddha says, after enlightenment, I gain nothing. And he says, by enlightenment, I lost nothing. It's a reshuffling. It's alignment. So therefore you are endowed with the material, or raw material. So do it again and again. Do reshuffling. And when it is reshuffling, that means you are completely lost in the meditation again. Going to pieces without falling apart. And if you do not have that kind of a gut, if you do not have that kind of a experimenting or radical way, I am sorry, I am telling you are feminine. Not masculinity. Masculinity is a dashing through, coercive, intruding. So you have to understand each and everyone has both the qualities, and the Buddha is asking, or this Ehipasika is a masculinity, inviting you, please come and see. You also can see. So therefore, don't give that hesitant way, backward way, or inferior way, and don't do the translation of normal law, social law. That is not what I am encouraging. I am encouraging in the meditation, whenever the meditation is going proper, healthy, you entertain doubts. You have boredom. You have monotony. You have lethargic feeling. Go prepared. Understand the result of meditation. Understand this opposite of tanha and viraga. The Buddha says, virago setto dhammana. That's the most precious thing. So when and where viraga sets in, if you can know the glad game, if you know how to be glad with this kind of thing, that become your habit. That become your hobby, and that become your way of life, and that is what you call samma ajiva. You make your livelihood in such a way, look the thing in a radical way. Look at the thing in such a non-traditional way, and for that Buddha is the representative. Dhamma is the way. So therefore don't expect that by learning Tripitaka Dhamma, you gain merits. Maybe, rather than reading unwanted books, it will be okay. But if you can put into the practice, it's a completely different thing. Then you feel like sharing others, even they are not up to the mark. You believe one day their perspective will come aligned with, and there they will see. And when and where they see Dhamma, then only they can see Buddha. So therefore, don't expect your laboratory is ill-equipped. It's a fully equipped. There's nothing lacking. The main thing is the alignment. Hope today's talk also will helpful you to get aligned and get the proper viewpoint, samadhi, so that your path will be with the least frictional way. With that remark, I would like to sum up the talk today. Thank you very much for attentive listening.